Hey everyone, welcome back to Talk and Learn. I'm Emily, and I'm so excited to have you here today.
And I'm Sam. Mm-hmm. Emily, I have a feeling today's topic is going to hit home for a lot of people.
Oh, absolutely. Let me ask you this. How many times have you told yourself, this time I'm going to stay committed? You start strong, full of motivation. But then, a few days later, life gets in the way. You skip one study session, then another, and before you know it, boom, that new habit is gone.
Oh, I've been there so many times. And you know what? It's because motivation is kind of unreliable. It feels great at first, but then it disappears just when you need it the most.
Exactly. But here's the good news. Self-discipline is what keeps you going even when motivation fades. And the best part? It's not something you're just born with. It's something you can develop.
That's right. And today we're breaking down 7 powerful strategies that will help you build self-discipline and stay consistent, not just in learning English, but in every part of your life.
And if you want to review and practice everything from today's episode, click the link in the description. It's completely free for you. Content.
Oh, and one more thing. Before we get started, can you do us a quick favor? Hit that like button. It really helps us out.
Yes, please. And if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you never miss an exciting episode from us.
All right, let's do this. Ready to take control of your habits and build unstoppable discipline? Let's get started. Why self-discipline matters.
We all know how easy it is to start something new when we feel motivated. You wake up one day feeling excited about learning English, hitting the gym, or starting a new project. But what happens a few days or weeks later when that initial excitement disappears?
That's when self-discipline steps in. Motivation comes and goes, but discipline is what keeps you going, even when you don't feel like it. It's the difference between giving up and pushing through when things get tough.
Let's take learning English as an example. Maybe at the start you feel super excited and promise yourself to practice for an hour every day. But then one day you're tired or you're busy, so you skip it. The next day you tell yourself you'll make up for it tomorrow. Before you know it, a week has passed and you've completely lost your habit.
Exactly. And it's not just about language learning. Think about exercising. You might plan to go for a run 3 times a week, but one morning you wake up and say, I don't feel like it today. If you don't have self-discipline, you'll listen to that feeling and skip it. But with discipline, you say, I don't feel like running, but I'll go anyway. And that makes all the difference.
The same goes for work, studying, or any personal goal. Maybe you have an important project due, but instead of focusing, you find yourself scrolling on social media, telling yourself you'll start in 5 more minutes. That's how procrastination sneaks in, and suddenly, deadlines feel overwhelming.
But here's the key. Successful people aren't always more motivated than others. They just know how to rely on self-discipline when motivation fades. And the good news is, self-discipline isn't something you're born with. It's something you can build.
That's why in the next section, we'll break down 7 powerful strategies that will help you develop rock-solid discipline in both your English learning and your daily life. Let's get into it.
Practical strategies to build self-discipline.
Start small. Build momentum with tiny habits.
Have you ever set a big goal and then felt completely overwhelmed? You start with excitement, but after a few days it feels like too much and you slowly stop. That's why starting small is so powerful. Tiny habits help you build momentum over time.
Exactly. When people want to improve their English, they often set unrealistic goals, like studying for an hour every day. But life gets busy and suddenly they skip a day, then another, and eventually they give up. Instead, what if you just studied for 5 minutes a day? 5 minutes is easy to commit to, and once it becomes a habit, you can naturally do more.
There's actually a psychological reason why this works. When you achieve small wins, your brain releases dopamine, the feel-good chemical. This makes you feel successful and encourages you to keep going. That's why small victories lead to long term consistency.
Think about it like learning to run. If you force yourself to run 10 miles on your first day, you'll be exhausted and probably never want to run again. But if you start with a short 5-minute jog, you'll feel accomplished and more likely to do it again the next day.
The same principle applies to learning English. Instead of trying to memorize 50 words in one sitting, just focus on one useful word per day. Instead of pushing yourself to read an entire book in English, just read one short article or even one paragraph. Small actions add up over time.
And the best part? When you start small, you create an identity shift. If you practice English for just 5 minutes every day, you begin to see yourself as someone who studies English regularly. Once you believe that, sticking to the habit becomes effortless. So here's a challenge. What's one small habit you can start today? Maybe it's watching a 1-minute English video, writing one short sentence in English, or listening to just one section of a podcast. Whatever it is, start small and stay consistent.
Remember, small steps lead to big changes. Once you build momentum, you'll be surprised at how much progress you make. Focus on systems, not just goals.
Everyone loves setting goals, right? I want to be fluent in English. I want to lose weight. I want to read more books. But here's the problem. Goals give us direction, but systems create results.
That's such a great point. A goal is like saying, I want to drive to another city, but if you don't have a map or a clear route, you'll probably get lost or take forever to get there. The system is the map that guides you step by step.
Exactly. Think about it. How many times have you set a goal and felt super excited in the beginning, only to lose momentum after a few weeks? That's because goals depend on motivation, and motivation doesn't last forever.
Right. So instead of saying, I want to be fluent in English, build a system that makes English a part of your daily routine. For example, listen to a podcast every morning while making breakfast, or spend 5 minutes reading an article before bed. That way, learning English becomes automatic, not something you have to force yourself to do.
It's like going to the gym. If you just set a goal like, I want to get fit, but don't have a workout schedule, you'll probably stop going after a few weeks. But if you commit to going at the same time every day, eventually, it becomes part of your routine.
And here's another thing, systems take away decision fatigue. If you have to decide every day, should I study English now or later? You'll probably keep delaying it, but if you already have a set routine, like studying for 10 minutes right after lunch, there's no decision to make. You just do it.
So here's the takeaway. Don't just focus on the goal. Focus on creating a system that makes success inevitable. If you set up the right habits and routines, you'll reach your goal without even thinking about it.
Exactly. So ask yourself, what's one system you can set up today? Maybe it's listening to an English podcast while getting ready in the morning, or keeping an English book on your desk as a reminder to read a few pages every day. Whatever it is, make it easy, make it consistent, and let the system do the work for you.
Small habits, done consistently, lead to big results. So let's start focusing on systems, not just goals.